Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Explore China, Tanzu Jongo, and I'm super happy to be back here. And today I will present to you this interesting book here. It is Chinese Overseas Ports in Europe and the Americas, edited by Jean-Marc F. Blanchard. And I'm here in the Rotterdam port, at the Europort. Just behind me is the open sea. And yeah, I chose this spot because also here China is invested heavily via the three main actors, but which I will come to later. So first of all, this book here, I contacted the author because it was quite expensive. So I thought maybe I can ask him to get a free copy. And he was so kind to suggest me to contact Routledge. And that I did. And Routledge told me, basically they sent me the copy for free. So I'm here today able to talk about the contents of this book. So first of all, Jean-Marc F. Blanchard, he is a professor, or was it a professor at the Jiaotong University in Shanghai, and he and his foundation, they started a conference in 2020 in San Francisco talking about Chinese overseas ports involvement. And this book is a combination of papers which were presented there. So, first of all, to say one thing is that privatization of ports and port authorities is something common and has been done for a long time already. And as China develops and Chinese companies, and especially also companies derived in Hong Kong, established in Hong Kong, get bigger and more successful, of course the expansion is also more common. Now let me quickly tell you about the three main actors, Chinese companies, involved in port investments in Europe. There we have first and foremost the CMP, the China Merchants Ports Holdings in Chinese. This is the Zhao Shangju Gangkou, which is an SOE standing for State-Owned Enterprise, sitting below the SASAC, the State Asset Supervision and Administration Commission. I think, otherwise I will print in here the name, which is controlling all the SOEs in China. Then second, we have a Hong Kong-based company, the Hutchison Port Holdings, the Heji Gangkou Jituan Youxian Gongsi, which is a large company and it controls half of it's the second largest port terminal operator in the world, and it controls half of the container trade in the Pearl River Delta. It also owns the ECT, the European Container Terminals, which is handling a lot of container terminals in the whole world. And third, we have a company which is familiar to most of you, I guess, is COSCO, China Ocean Shipping Corporation. Their Chinese name is Zhongguo Yuanyang Yunshu Youxian Gongsi. And which one is involved in almost all shipping activity you can guess, which is first and foremost the shipping, then it is logistics, terminal operations, container maintenance, and I think even shipbuilding. Then these Chinese companies, they are involved in 22 European ports, so they have assets, shares in 22 European ports, and out of these, COSCO is accounting for 75% of all container throughput. I've changed the setting a bit, and now we are here in front of the Hutchison port terminals. And you can see there like a big vessel from CGM. They are a French shipping company and in an alliance with COSCO, OOCL and Evergreen, so that's why also you can see so many green evergreen containers on there. Yeah, but now I want to come to some successful port engagement, port involvement from Chinese companies. And there's first and foremost to say in Great Britain, Felixstowe, which is the oldest and largest port terminal in the UK. And Hutchison Port Terminals, they bought them in 1991. And until now, they developed super successful. Further, HPH has many linkages to the Ocean Alliance and also good connections to the PRC, to the People's Republic of China. So also in Felixstowe port you can see many Chinese companies in warehousing and other facilities at the port. And HPH made the port develop quite well because of heavy investments in the quays and lifting facilities, which made it a successful undertaking so far. Now let me continue with the second involvement, and this is Rotterdam. Rotterdam is the 10th largest port in the world after 9 bigger ports in Asia. Here in Rotterdam, the port has 12 container terminals. Yeah, let me give you some more details. First of all, HPH, they are the owner of 5 deep sea terminals, and which they acquired between 2009 and 2019. I think then, second, COSCO, they are the owner of a stake in the ECT Euromax container terminal, and CMP, they are minority owner, shareholder of the Gateway terminal here. Yes, so here it's a bit difficult to measure the Chinese influence on their holdings of this port here, because the container throughput in Rotterdam is not measured per terminal. So at least there's no public available data. Then let me give you some more information about 2 investments of Chinese companies in European ports. This is Genua and Piraeus. So in Genua, COSCO and Qingdao Port International acquired a 49% share in 2016, and up till 2021 the TEU throughput at this port increased, so I think it can be counted as successful. Further, in Piraeus, we all have heard about China getting involved in Piraeus, in the very important harbor in Greece near Athens. And this harbor, first of all, is so important because it is the last port in the Mediterranean Sea before goods go through the Suez Channel. And so Piraeus is a big transshipment port, and also this is the reason why it's interesting for Chinese companies involved in shipping. So COSCO acquired until now a 67% share in Piraeus, mainly in Pier 2 and Pier 3 there, and they promised a lot of investment. I think a lot of investment has been done as well, and here as well the TEU throughput increased and other conditions didn't get worse. Indeed, some Greek publishings say that employment possibilities in Piraeus are better than elsewhere in Greece, so I think here we can see this investment as well as a positive one. Further, CMP, China Merchant Ports Holdings, acquired 90% of Parangua port in Brazil, which is the largest port in the country, and there also the TEU throughput increased to 2.1 million in 2021. And here, what does China want with a port in Brazil? Of course, to secure the flow of goods, especially to make it faster and safer into the country and out of the country. I think you have heard often about very critical concerns about Chinese involvement in European ports, and some of these negative arguments or concerns include following. First of all, it is saying that if Chinese companies own port terminals, container port terminals or bulk terminals, they can give other Chinese companies better conditions than other shipping companies. That means they give them better times where they can call the port, better maintenance services maybe. This is the first concern. Second concern is that the ports could also be used in the military perspective, especially in ports which are a bit in a region where you would not think about trade concerns. Then a further concern is that China often suggests or promises a lot of involvements, but the involvements following sometimes do not really are as high as they were previously announced. But to finish off, I want to say that there's a lot of exaggerating on the pros or cons about this topic, and I think any of these involvements really have to be seen singular to this case and have to be looked carefully into. And I can suggest to everyone who is interested in ports and shipping and Chinese overseas investments to read this book. And one further thing, because I'm myself from Germany, so I can talk about the Chinese planned investment, or the Costco's investment in the Hamburg terminal Tollerort, I think it's called, Container Terminal Tollerort, CTT, where they wanted to acquire a 25% stake. No, actually they wanted to acquire a 35% stake, but they were not allowed to do so because the German Ministry of Economics said no, this is now critical infrastructure and you cannot get involved there any further. So now it is the case that they can only acquire 25% stake, but without any special rights, so they cannot have any impact in decision making there. And I hope you liked this short introduction, and if you have any questions or thoughts, please share it with me in the comments. Thank you.